this is the last video about the multiple choice. This is for module number 14. It's questions number 10 to number 15. Okay, so remember the multiple choice part of your exam. You have 15 questions. Each question is 4 points, and the total for this section is going to be 60 points. Also, remember your goal for this section is to get 11 questions out of 15 correct. So 11 or 12 is a good goal to shoot for. Question number 10 comes from lesson 14.2. Okay, so this question wants to ask you about the third angle theorem. So the third angle rule. This rule says that if two angles are congruent, the third angle is also congruent. We do not need to know what number is here to know that C is congruent to J. So as long as you know that angle A is congruent to angle H and angle B is congruent to angle I, then directly we know that angle C and angle J should also be congruent, right? If we wanted to find the missing number in the triangle, how can we do it?
Triangle theorem.
Know? Which one?
Triangle theorem.
Which, another name. If we want to find C, how can you find C? How can you find angle C?
Three inside equal 180.
Yeah, so that one is triangle sum rule. So correct. So what should be the measure for angle C? You would do 180, subtract 55, subtract
57.
88, gonna give you 57 degrees. Well, for the second triangle, if we do 180, subtract 35, subtract 88, what number should be for angle J?
57.
Should be the same, should be 57 degrees. So this rule says we do not need to do this one. We do not need to solve it. As long as we know two angles, then the third one, automatic, is also congruent. Okay, it's called third angle theorem. So here is a question about third angle theorem. The Wazara sometimes like to take this question exactly. Same picture, everything came from the textbook. So it says Camila is designing a new image for her cell phone case. If the measure of angle ABC is 35 degrees, and the measure of angle BAC is 29 degrees, and angle ACB is congruent to angle DEB, what is the measure of angle, or the measure of angle DEB? So we want to see what is the measure of angle DEB. So in the exam, you should have this picture. You need to mark the angles. Angle ABC, you start at A, you go to B, you stop at C. So the 35 degrees should be there in the middle.
116.
Okay, let me get a different color. Oh, sorry, guys. It's the highlighter. So this one is going to be 35 degrees. Then it says the measure of angle BAC. Start at B, go to A, stop at C. The one in the middle, angle A, is going to be 29 degrees. So make sure that you put the number at the letter in the middle. Then these two, we do not know the measure. So what can we write when we do not know the measure for the angle?
X.
X. So both of these, you're going to put X. So ACB, start at A, go to C, stop at B. This is X. And DEB. So this angle is also X. Remember, it has to be the angle that is in the middle. How can we solve for X? What rule can you use?
Triangle sum.
With 3 inside equal 180.
Correct. So triangle sum. So it's a multiple choice question, so we can use the shortcut, right? So 180, subtract 29, subtract 35 is going to give you 116 degrees. So this is not X. The number should be 116, both. Class, done. You're right about that. Question number 13, same idea. You have two right triangles here. Everybody can see the right triangles. So from the picture, you have two of them. It says if angle PRQ is congruent to angle TVU, start at P, go to R, stop at Q. The number or the variable is going to go at X, R in the middle. So we do not know R, so put X. Angle TVU, start at T, go to V, stop at U. The X belongs at the letter in the middle. Then the measure of angle RPQ. Start at R, go to P, stop at Q. This one is 49 degrees. We want to know what is the measure of angle TVU. So first thing we have here, how much is the corner?
90 degrees.
90.
Fine, 90 degrees. So this corner is 90 degrees. How can we find X?
180
rule?
subtract 90, subtract 49.
Cool. So the rule is triangle sum.
With X plus 94 plus 90 equal 180.
Yes, but this multiple choice, so we're just gonna use the shortcut because it's multiple choice, yeah? So 180, subtract 49, subtract 90, going to give you 41. So you can erase the x's, and the number that should be in that place is 41 degrees. Class. Finish. All right. Another way they can ask this question is using a proof. Today, we're going to talk a lot about proofs with congruent triangles. So for the proof, remember, if we want to say something is congruent, a triangle is congruent, it has to have 3 angles and 3 sides that are equal. That is the only way, well, it's not the only way, but that's the way that we know that triangles are congruent. 3 angles, 3 sides should be equal. Like this picture. The 3 numbers inside are the same in both triangles. The 3 numbers outside are the same in both triangles. So triangle ABC is congruent to triangle EFG. This idea, you have to know it in the proof. So if they give you the proof in the multiple choice, it's going to have to be something is blank and you have to fill in what is the correct word. The easy ones for you to complete should be the given, right? So before we start looking at the reasons in this section, we want to look at what they tell us in the given. It says angle AB or side AB is congruent to side CB. So here I'm going to put one line, and I'm also going to put one line here. Then it tells us AD is congruent to CD. So this is AD and this is CD. What else does it tell us? Angle BAD is congruent to angle BCD. BAD. This angle is congruent to BCD. This angle. And we also know that side BD bisects angle ABC. What is the meaning of bisect?
Between.
Two equal sides.
Bisect means that you're going to cut it, right? So we're cutting it into two congruent. And what is the thing we're cutting? An angle or a side?
Angle.
So we need two congruent angles. So A, B, C is here. This line BD is cutting. So this angle and this angle should also be congruent. Right? Then, where can we get the third side that should be congruent? We're missing a side.
Reflexive side.
Yeah, so this side here is the reflexive. So I have three sides. And I have three angles. Why else do I have an angle? Because we can use third angle theorem. I know that this angle in the green is the same as this one. That's third angle. I don't need to know the number. I have two reds angles that are the same. I have two blue angles that are the same. So the last angle must be the same. We say the reason is third angle theorem. So now I have three angles. So the triangles must be congruent. Why are the triangles congruent? It is the definition of congruent triangles. What is that definition? You need three sides and three angles to say that the triangles are the same. So, for the proof, what can you do for the proof? Put all the givens. How many givens do you have? Only one of maybe one or maybe two can be blank on this thing. So you have one given here, you have another given here, you have a third given, and you have a fourth given. Those are the easiest things to put into the proof is the given. So they put two of them here. Fine, the reason is given. They put the third one here. Fine, the reason is given. They put the fourth one here. Fine, the reason is given. The only thing hard about the exam in the multiple choice is going to be to figure out what numbers should be or what word should be in the part that is not given. How did we know that BD is congruent to BD? That is called reflexive. How did we know that angle ABD congruent to ACB? You have to pick something angled bisector. And then number 6, how did we know the two green? Because of third angle. So in the exam, you're going to have to draw on the picture to help you to see what is happening. So this one, they give you 3 sides, 3 angles. Okay, congruent. You want to ask me something before I do another one?
No.
All right. Let's try another one. Same. Mark the givens, right? So AB can grow into CB. Here's a line, here's a line. So that was given number 1. Given number 2, AD can grow into CD. So this is AD, this is CD. Given number 3, angle ABD can grow into angle CBD. ABD. So this one can grow into CBD. So this one. Given number 4, I'm going to change the color. ADB. So this angle can grow into CDB. So this angle. We want to say the triangles are congruent. To say the triangles are congruent, we need what? 3
sides, 3 angles.
sides and 3 angles. Right now, we have 2 sides. Where is the third side?
Reflexive.
Reflexive. So this side, the purple one, is reflexive. That is line number 2. We need another angle. Right?
Miss, what is reflexive?
Tell me again.
What do reflexive mean?
Reflexive means equal to itself. If you see here, BD can grow into BD. Okay, it's the same thing both sides, yeah?
Yeah, okay, understand.
Reflexive. In the picture, it must be the side that they shared. So remember, we sat and we did a lot of vocabulary. And I gave you all the triangles and told you how to find the reasons. So this purple line is a shared side. This BD is in both triangles. If I separate these 2 triangles, both of them will have BD. So when we have a shared side, we call the word reflexive. Now we need another angle. How can we get another angle? Third angle's theorem. What is third angle's theorem? If they give me 2, the last one must be the same. They give me 2, so the last one must be the same. The vocab is third angle's theorem. So now I have 3 sides, I have 3 angles. The triangles are congruent because of congruent triangles. The definition of congruent triangle. Yeah, it's making a little bit more sense. A little bit, maybe. Try again. To make you feel better, if this question comes, it's multiple choice. I think you should be able to choose what should be in the blank. If they leave number 1 empty, you should know to write given. If they leave number 2 empty, you should know to write reflexive. If they leave number 3 empty, you know to write given. If they leave number 4 empty, okay, you know third angles. If they leave number 5 empty, okay, congruent triangles. Try again. Here, we're gonna mark all the given. So given number 1, we have angle C and angle A are congruent. Given number 2, angle D can grow into angle B. So angle D and angle B. Given number 3, side AD is congruent to side CB. So this side congruent to this side. Given number 4, AE congruent to CE. This is right, so I'm putting 2 lines. Everybody catching on how I'm marking the picture?
Yes.
Okay. Then we have another given. Given number 5. A bisects BD. What is the meaning of bisect?
Cut.
Two-part cut.
Cut it into what? Two
Congruent size.
congruent sides or segments. So where is AC? This is AC. It is cutting BD. So what happens now? This side is congruent to this side. We want to prove that triangle AED is congruent to triangle CEB. This question is talking about congruent triangles. So we need 3 sides and we need 3 angles. Do we have 3 sides?
Yes.
Yes, in the picture we have 3 sides. Do we have 3 angles?
Yes.
Where is the third angle?
Vertical.
Vertical. So this one and this one, vertical. So they put that in line number 2. Angle AED congruent to angle CED because they are vertical angles. Line number 1 is given. Line number 3 is given. Line number 4 is given. How did we know that side DE congruent to side BE? Because it is bisector. So this one in the green. We knew that one because of segment bisector. When you have 3 sides and 3 angles, you say the triangle is congruent because of congruent triangle. You want a question or you're okay?
Okay.
All right. By the end of this video, you should be proof expert, huh? This one, number 17. We're gonna do the same thing. Start marking all the givens in your picture. BD bisects angle ABC. What is the meaning of bisect?
Two-part cut.
We're gonna cut it into 2 congruent.
Size.
This one we cutting angles, so 2 congruent angles. What angle are we cutting? ABC. We're cutting this angle. So if we're cutting this angle, this one and this one are congruent. That was given number 1. Given number 2, angle ABC, oh, sorry, not that. It cuts both. I misread that, sorry. So what is this saying? BD bisects angle ADC. ADC. This one is also cut. So if we cut angle D, this one and this one is the same. So that was given number 2. Given number 3, side AB congruent to side CE. So this side is congruent to this side. Given number 4, AD is congruent to CD. This side congruent to this side. We want to say the triangles are congruent. What do we need to say the triangles are congruent? We want to say congruent triangles. How do we know?
Three,
Need
three
three
sides and three angles.
sides and three angles. Do we have three sides?
Yes.
Where is the third side?
A reflexive side.
Reflexive side. So here's the third side. So now we have three sides. Do we have three angles?
Yes.
Where is the third angle?
The angle theorem, I think. A word for it.
Yeah, definitely. This one. Third angles. What is third angle? If they give you two, you must have the third one. If they give you two, you must have the third one. So we have three angles. This is another kind of proof. It's called paragraph proof. It's like English. You have to write it in a paragraph with full sentence. So not with the column proof, with the statements in the left and the reasons in the right. This proof, you write everything as a sentence with the statement and the reason. So if they give this to you multiple choice, fine, you should be able to fill in the blank. So this one here is given. I'll just highlight them. This is the given. This is given number 1 and given number 2. So you write it in the sentence. Then next thing, angle ABD congruent to angle CBD, and angle ADB congruent to angle CDB. How do we know those are congruent? Angle bisector. How did we know angle C and angle A are congruent? Third angles theorem. It is given. This one and this one are given. And then how did we know about side BD? Because reflexive, it's the shared side. How do we know the triangles are congruent? Definition of congruent triangles. It is all vocabulary. You're going to have to fill in the blank. All right. So maybe question 10 is not a level number 1. Maybe it's more like a level 2. Yeah. So let me change that here. It just depends on what kind of question they ask you. If they ask you about the picture and the third angle using triangle sum, fine, level 1. But if they're asking you about the proof, okay, a little bit harder because you need to know your vocabulary. Next up is question 11. It's also from 14.2. This one is about the corresponding parts are congruent. So what are you going to have to say in the exam? What are the congruent angles? What are the congruent sides? And what is the congruent statement? 3 things you should be able to write. Remember, the order is important when you're writing about the side and the statement. If A is matching with D, when you write it in the sides, A is first, so D should also be first. If B is matching with E and B is in the second place, E should be in the second place. It is very important you choose the correct order. So the Wazara, I imagine, will give you the things not written correctly to see if you know how it should be the correct way. So be careful when you are choosing your answers to make sure they are in the correct order. Also, the congruent statement should be in the correct order. A, B, C is matching with D, E, F. What else did I say about this topic? Maybe some of you don't like the way the picture is drawn. Remember, you can always draw the picture again to make things easier for you. Pictures are going to make everything better. Pictures are going to make everything more clear. If you have a good picture, you are well on your way to get the correct answer in the exam. But you have to make sure that you are drawing things correctly and marking them correctly. So if I want to turn DEF around to match it with RST, what angle is matching with R? So what's matching with R in the second triangle?
F.
Gonna be F. How did you know?
Because it has one line.
Because it has one line. So see the lines to help you match. Angle T is matching with what?
D.
D. And angle S is matching with what?
E.
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 Okay? So this is to remind you to draw your picture again if you're getting confused. Here, the Wazara has to give you two things. They either have to give you the congruent statement or they need to give you a picture with the lines. The lines is the only way that you know what is matching if they do not give you the statement. So, the easiest thing to match is always going to be the angle. Angle A is congruent to angle what?
E.
Angle B is congruent to angle what?
E.
Mm-mm.
No, I think F.
F. Angle C is congruent to angle what?
G.
G.
G. Angle D is congruent to angle what?
H.
H. For that one, for B and C, be careful. You have to see here, you have two lines. C here, you have two lines. So B with F and C with G. Once you have the angles, the sides is easy. You already know what is matching with A and B. So what side should be here?
EF.
EF. We know B side BC is matching with what?
FG.
FG.
CD is matching with what?
GH.
GH.
And side DA is matching with what?
HE.
HE. So be careful to make sure you put them in the correct order. And the last thing to write is the congruent statement. Polygon ABCD congruent to polygon EFGH. Everything should be matching. So this one is question 1 to 7. They want to know the angles, the side, and the statement. This one is not too bad because you have the lines in the picture. The only thing I want to remind you is about here, you have angle B 2 times. So maybe the Wazara is not going to use angle B. You have to be clear about which one you are talking about. If you look at angle B, you have one angle with 2 lines and one angle with 3 lines. So if we're talking about the one with 2 lines, can you give me another name for that angle? Not angle B, more specific.
ABC.
Angle A, B, C. Another way.
CBA.
C, B, A. Once you have this, okay, then you can match it. Angle ABC matching with what?
DCB.
DCB. Or angle CBA matching with what?
BCD.
BCD. Good. If you're talking about angle B that have 3 lines, this one in the red, I need a better name, not angle B.
TBC.
D, B, C. A different name.
CBD.
C, B, D. Once you have the 2 names, okay, you can write the match. So what is matching with DBC?
ABC.
ABC.
A, C, B, right? D is matching with A, B is matching with C, and C is matching with B. What about this one? Angle CBD matching with what?
BCA.
B, C, A. So that's the only thing I have to tell you about number 1. Be more specific about what the angle is. Okay? Number 2, maybe you don't like number 2 because you can draw it again. So angle J, this is a right angle there because these are 2 right triangles. Then I went to M and then I went to K. Where you put K and M, really it doesn't matter too much. You just have to be careful about the picture. So if I'm looking at this right triangle, there is 1 line between J and M, and there are 2 lines between J and K. So I need to be careful when I match the second one. What is in the same place as J in the second triangle?
L.
L. Then what is going to be in the same place as M in the second triangle?
K.
Again, K. Yes, K. How do we know? Because this one has 1 line here. So this is the 1 line. So angle K is matching with angle M. And we know because we had the 2 lines here. After you do this one, you can say what are the angles, then say the sides, then say the statement. Remember the statement, we're talking about a triangle. So triangle JKM congruent to triangle LMK. You guys okay about question number 2?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. This one, same. What's happened? We have K 2 times. So also make sure you're being more specific. Use 3 letters to describe it like we did in number 1. This one is easy to match. Why? You have numbers inside the triangle, you have numbers outside the triangle. So this one shouldn't be a problem. So that's number 3. If you want to, you can draw it again if it's easier for you to see the triangles in the same way. If you can see it different way, okay, no problem. But it depends on you. If it's easy for you to draw again, you feel better when you draw it again, then draw them again. Yeah, you have plenty of time to draw them again. This one is easy. You have numbers inside and numbers outside. So match all of the angles, then you can do the sides. This is a pentagon, so you have 5 angles and 5 sides. So your statement, when you do not have triangle, we write polygon in the statement. All right, so that was 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 6 is about finding the angles and the side measures. So remember how we did this one in class? The first thing we want to do is match. How do we know what is matching? Nobody knows how. How do we know what's matching?
Draw.
How do we know how to match the parts?
Miss, the numbers inside.
Yeah, before that. Nobody knows how to match.
Miss, the numbers inside and the
Yeah, you can use the numbers
Others.
inside, but there's something else that's very helpful.
draw.
No?
Miss the letters
From where?
The statement.
The
from
statement.
the picture.
The statement. This one here at the top. This is your best friend. You need to always look for the statement. The statement is going to help you to know what is the correct match. If you do not have the statement, fine, look at the picture, but always see if you can find the statement. So A, B, C is matching with X, Y, Z. For me, I do not like that the yellow triangle is upside down. So I'm gonna draw them again because I need everything to be more clear because I want to make sure I'm doing my work correctly. Fine? So starting with the blue triangle, that is angle A, B, C. If we're looking at the yellow triangle, what is matching with A? We know from the statement, yeah? So what should be matching from A?
X.
X. What is matching with B?
Y.
Y.
And then what is matching with Z? Or C?
Z.
Z. Then you need to start with the outside of your triangles and put the numbers in the correct place. So between A and B, do you have any number?
6.
So you put 6. Between B and C, do you have any number?
No.
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 Between A and C, you have any number?
Yes. 8.
So you put 8. Then go to the inside of the triangle. We know angle A is a corner. Fine. Do we know any number for angle B?
No.
Do we know any number for angle C?
Yes. 37.
So 37 degrees. Finish with that triangle. Now we're going back to triangle X, Y, Z. Anything between X and Y?
No. No.
Okay. Anything between Y and Z?
Yes. 10. 10.
Okay, 10. Anything between X and Z?
No. No.
No. Inside the triangle. We know X is corner. Fine. Angle Y.
53. 53.
53 degrees. Anything for angle Z?
No. No.
No. So what do I know? These triangles are congruent. We just discussed what is the meaning of congruent triangles. If they are congruent, you must have 3 sides and 3 what?
Angles.
Must be. They have to be the exact same. On both triangles, they have to be, everything is the same. So 3 sides and 3 angles. So if we want to know the measure of angle B, what number should be in this place?
53.
Should be 53 because it is congruent to angle Y. If we want to know the measure of angle Z, what number should be in that place?
37.
37 because angle C is congruent to angle Z. If we want to know the number between X and Y, what number should be there?
8. 6.
X and Y should be 6. Then, if we want to know the number between X and Z, should be what? X and Z. X and Z?
H.
Should be 8. Well, if we want to know the number between B and C, what number should be there?
10.
10. This is the meaning of congruent triangles. The 3 numbers inside are the same, and the 3 numbers outside are the same. So if you can remember this thing, it's going to help you to solve the rest of the questions in number 11 if it comes in your exam. You have to know that 3 sides are equal, 3 angles are equal. They want you to find what is the missing number. So see another one, yeah? Here's the one we did in class. First thing we're going to do is match. How do you know what to match? Where do you find the match?
Statement.
Statement. So in the writing, they're going to give you the statement. Here is the statement in the yellow. Triangle HJK is congruent to triangle LMN. Fine. So in your exam, you're going to have this on paper. Maybe you need to take a few different colors to show everything that is matching. So you are clear about the match. So we know from here, H is matching with what? Actually, I think I wrote it. I think I did the thing. So J is matching with what?
M.
M. H is matching with what?
L.
L. K is matching with what?
N.
N. So put the colors so you can see the match clearly. The question says find the value of X and find the value of Y. So if we're starting with X, X is inside the triangle or outside of the triangle?
Outside.
Outside. What do we call the outside of the triangle?
Side.
Side. So we need to write an equation to help us to find X. So what equation can you write?
2x plus 2 equal 30.
Why?
Because they're congruent.
What's they? I don't know they.
HK and LN.
HK is congruent to LN. What is the meaning of congruent?
Equal.
It should be equal. So the equation you said is correct. 2x plus 2 is equal to 30. I'll highlight it in the here so everybody can see it. So this side is congruent to this side. From H to K is congruent to L in. They are congruent. Because they're congruent.
I have to choose H to K.
Tell me one more time. Say it again.
I know that I know from H to K to L to N. Like how to know that it's side?
You told me the X was outside, so we're talking about a side.
Oh, okay.
Right? You can't use from J to K because there's no number from M to N. You also have X outside here. But it's not possible because you do not have number outside here. You don't have a number here, so you cannot make equation to see what number should be in the place. So once you make the equation correct, you're going to solve it. That's the easy part. So X is going to be 14. Now we need to know the value of Y. Where is Y?
Inside.
What do you call the inside?
Angle.
The angle. So how can we find Y?
Triangle sum.
Y triangle sum.
Because 3 inside equal 180.
Well, tell me
And
where
you
you
don't
got your
have
3 inside.
And you don't have enough numbers in one triangle.
Okay, so give me enough numbers in another triangle.
So, because angle M and J are the same, so we can have two Y's. So
Good.
Y
What else
plus
is
Y plus 35 equal 180.
correct? So what did she say? Remember, we're talking about congruent triangles. The triangles are congruent. What does that mean? The 3 numbers inside are the same, and the 3 numbers outside should also be the same. So if H and L are congruent, H is 35, so L should also be 35. If K is Y, what should be in?
Y.
Y. If M is Y, what should be J?
Y.
Y. So once you fill in the inside, it will help you to remember that you need to use triangle sum. 3 inside is equal to 180. So 2y plus 35 equal 180. The easy thing is solving. So y is 72.5. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so the rest of the questions are about this. So 6 and 7, we did this one in class, right? We want to know what is the value of x. The first thing we need to do is match. How do we know what is the match?
Statement.
From the statement. So you need to pay attention to the statement that is here. Okay, so triangle ABC is congruent to triangle FDE. I'm going to code everything so we can see it clearly. So A is matching with F. And B is matching with D. And C is matching with E. We know from the statement. The next thing we need to try to figure out is maybe the value of X. Well, where is X? Inside or outside?
Inside.
It's inside. Okay, but it says 2x subtract y. This is a problem. Why is it a problem?
You have Y and X
You
inside.
have y and x, yeah? So one of them we need to remove. So pause on that, and then you check for the y. Where is y? Inside or outside?
Inside.
Okay, so if we want to find the value of y, we're looking inside the triangle. So what number should be the y?
180.
Nope.
108, sorry.
Nope. Y is 108. Y is
Oh,
matching with
sorry.
yeah.
48.
48. How do you know it's 48?
Because from the angle B and D are congruent.
So angle B is congruent to angle, Miss Aisha, that is a D. So Y should be 48. So that's the first thing. Y is going to be 48 degrees. So what happens now? I can come back to this one. I can delete this Y. And I can put 2x subtract 48. And this y, I can delete this y and put what number? 48 degrees. Okay, well, how can we find x now?
We just heard the triangle sum. Yeah, this one. 3 equal 180.
Okay, so where's the third angle?
108.
The
108,
E.
why?
108. Because
The
E
E
congruent to C.
is
Angle E is
108.
congruent to angle C.
Okay, good. So this one, 108. So what equation we should write now?
2x subtract 48 plus 48 plus 180. Wait, equals 180.
That's okay. So you have to solve this. Negative 48 plus 48 give you 0. So the next line, 2x plus 108 equal 180. Subtract 108 both sides. Oh, time is terrible. So this is 0. 2x is equal to 72. Divide 2, divide 2. X is going to be equal to 36. Done. Degrees here. Just that. So that's with 6 and 7. You're okay about that?
Yes.
All right. They also put this question in question number 10. I kept it here because it's the same idea. Okay, so what is the first thing we need to do? We need to match. How do we know what is the match?
Statement.
The statement. So here, A, B, C, D is congruent to P, Q, R, S. Get you some colors and get to matching so you can see. Angle A is matching with angle P. Angle B matching with angle Q. Angle C matching with angle R. And angle D matching with angle S. So X, inside or outside the triangle?
Inside.
Okay. Inside is an angle. So what can we do to find X?
2x plus 4
2x
equals
plus
100.
4 equal 108. Equal 80.
No,
Equal 100.
equal 100. Why?
Because it's the P is 100.
Not 100. A
So,
is congruent to P.
so angle A is congruent to angle P. If you write this one, it's going to help you stay focused, huh? So 2x plus 4 is equal to 100. Easy thing to do is solve. This is 0. 2x is equal to 96. Divide 2. Divide 2. X is going to be 48. I hope. Yes. Then we want y. Y is inside or outside?
Outside.
Okay. So what? What equation you're writing?
3y minus 3 equal 12.
How do you know?
DC is congruent to SR.
DC is congruent to SR. Because I have color here, it's easy for me to see. So this side I'm making black is congruent to this side I'm making black. So 3y subtract 3 is equal to 12. Last, solve. Add 3 both sides. 3y is equal to 15. Divide 3, divide 3. Y is equal to positive 5. Done. You're okay about that?
Yes.
All right. Here's another one. First thing you need to do is what?
Statement.
Match. So ABC is matching with F. How do we know? From the statement. I'm gonna color everything. So A is matching with D. And B is matching with E. And C is matching with F. So we want to find the value of X.
First
What
thing
do
you
you
have
think?
to find the y because
Why do we have to find the Y?
Plus 2x plus y. So there's y.
Okay, we have two variables there. We can't do anything. So can we find Y?
Yes.
It's inside or outside the triangle?
Inside.
Outside.
The Y? Inside. So what equation can you write?
2y minus 5 plus equals 65.
Why?
Because angle D is congruent to angle A.
But angle D is congruent to angle A. So 2y subtract 5 is equal to 65. Add 5 both sides. 0, 2y is equal to 70. Divide 2, divide 2. Y is going to be 35. So what happens now? We can delete this y and put what number there?
35.
35. Now, can we find x?
Yes.
All right, what do you have?
2x plus 35 equal 90.6.
Y.
Because EF is congruent to BC.
Side EF is congruent to side BC. So this side is congruent to this side. So 2x plus 35 is equal to 90.6. Subtract 35 both sides. I need help because I don't have the calculator. I don't have the answer. Do I have the answer? I have it. Where? Okay. So 2x is equal to 55.6. Divide 2. Divide 2. X is equal to 27.8. Done. Yeah, so that's question number 11. Probably level 2. Not too bad. It's about the corresponding parts.